Finish one video series and now people expect me to do all of them? Ugh. Anyway, here's Vlad the Impaler Part 7. So where I left off, Vlad had poked the Ottoman bear for long enough and Mehmet was finally like, okay, I'ma do this myself. Brings an army of about 100,000 with 100 cannons. Now Vlad had about just under a third of that, and only 10,000 in his army were actual soldiers. The rest were, peasant levies. The first blow was really struck at the Battle of Ternu, which was on the banks of the Danube. See, Mehmet may have this huge army, but he needs to get it across the river first. It was a bloodbath fed by the Ottoman cannon. Mehmet was able to get his army across, but they incurred some heavy losses due to the Wallachian cavalry. But the Wallachians have to retreat. And it's become apparent to Vlad that despite being dug in, he cannot beat the Ottomans in open battle. But that's when Vlad switches his tactic. See, the thing about having an army of 100,000 is it sounds very impressive when you say it, but the Herculean task of supplying an army that size? So Vlad employs scorched earth and guerrilla tactics. They leave no crops for the Ottomans to supply. They poison wells so they don't have water. They build dams to divert the river to turn the landscape into marshland. You ever try to move cannon across marsh? So the Ottoman advance to Targoviste has been slowed to a snail crawl. And Mehmet knows he's running out of time. He needs to get Vlad's brother Radu to Targoviste so have him crowned as the new voivode and delegitimize Vlad, and his army can't move. They're exhausted. They are starving. They are dehydrated. Every time they make camp, they get attacked by Vlad's militia. Not to mention, during these night raids, the Wallachians would take Ottomans and then impale them in the woods. Psychological damage! But then, Vlad makes a little bit of a mistake. He can see that the Ottoman forces are riddled with hunger, thirst, and disease. He thinks that if he does one raid and take out the Sultan, that will break their spirit completely. So Vlad takes his 7,000 cavalry and raids deep into the Ottoman camp. They take out 10 to 15,000. By the time they actually make it to Mehmet's tent, they've lost the element of surprise and they have to contend with the Janissaries, which you don't want to do. It forces them into a retreat. It was a high-risk move that didn't pay off. However, the Ottoman morale took a heavy hit in that raid. It was hanging by a thread by the time they got to Targoviste, where they found the Forest of the Impaled. This horrific sight finally shattered this army's resolve. The idea of a long-winded siege after everything that they had endured, it wasn't going to happen, so they turn around and retreat. I cannot wrap this up in the time left, so come back for the next and possibly final part.